Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll check in with our National American Miss Pageant contestants to find out about their recent trip to Hollywood for their big competition. We'll meet our neighbors from the local Mundelein Vernon Hills Rotary Club to find out about their projects, including their efforts to donate a dictionary to every third grade student. We'll visit with our Vernon Hills Queens to find out about their projects as well as the recent Lake County pageant. We'll stop by our own Lake County Family YMCA to learn about the group's philosophy, programs, and services. And we'll talk about a plan the village has developed to lower all of our energy costs through competitive bidding. If you have comments or questions, please contact Mike Storto at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at vhills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.
Well, we've got some of our friends that we've introduced you to before. We've got some of our queens from here in town. We've got Peyton Newman and her mother Michelle and Tatum Perlman, and we talked about them going to a huge national pageant right around Thanksgiving, so they're coming back to tell us more about what's going on. So hi girls, thanks for coming back, and I know one of our friends, Cassidy Rash, isn't here because she's busy doing cheer and poms and stuff, but we're glad you could come back and talk to us about what's going on. Now before we tell them the big surprise, let's start out by reminding people who you guys are, like tell us, you know, what grade you're in, what school you're in, that kind of stuff. Well, introduce yourselves, and then that's how we'll warm everybody up so they know who you are, and then we'll talk about what you've been up to. Let's start with you.
All right. Hi, I'm Peyton Newman. I go to Town Line, and my teacher is Miss Ox.
And so what grade are you in?
Fourth.
Fourth grade, okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Tatum?
Hi, my name is Tatum Perlman, and I go to Town Line School just like Peyton, and my teacher is Miss Hughes, and I am also in second grade.
Very nice. And this is Mom. We won't ask what grade you're in, but
I appreciate it. I'm Michelle, and I teach fifth grade.
Oh, you do? What
I
school?
do, at Woodland in Gurnee.
Well, there you go. So we've got a lot of school people, and Cassidy had gone to Town Line too.
Yeah,
so we've got
elementary
and my
school.
kids went to Town Line. So we are all in a team here together. So now last time we talked, we were amazed, and I'm going to ask your mom this one because we had 3 girls from Vernon Hills who all won the Illinois state level of a pageant to get to go to Hollywood. Mom, what are the odds that you'd have 3 girls from the same town winning their age divisions for a state?
Well, my husband, the mathematician, figured that it was 1 in 1.3 million.
Something
I think
like that.
if you just drew random names out of a hat.
But of course, we have very talented kids
Yes.
here in Vernon Hills, so we knew that it was not as such a big surprise. So let's see. Now, right around Thanksgiving, then you guys went to Hollywood to compete in a national competition. Tell me how that all went. How was it? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of new friends. They planned fun events for us. Like they did like rehearsals for our dances that we needed to do when we performed in the final pageant. So we like certain days like we wore crazy hair. You wore your pajamas. One day was just wearing NAM apparel. So
Oh,
it
nice.
was
So
fun,
so
yeah.
you were with girls that were like your age from
Yes.
all across the nation then. So did you get to do that same kind of thing
Yeah, I
too?
got to do the same kind of thing too, and I think it was really fun because you got to have like a brand new experience, and it was like kind of the same as the state, but it was a little bit different, and it had a little bit more rehearsals for the dances, and it had a lot more events because in state there wasn't any events. You just had to wear your NAM outfit. And that was kind of boring, and I really liked wearing my pajamas. It was really comfy, and
But did you wear your pajamas like for the competition or just
No,
for
for
the
the
fun?
rehearsal.
For the rehearsal.
Because that might be my kind of competition. If I get my pajamas, I'm saying.
Same here, same here.
Yeah, so it was fun, and you got to do a lot of things. And so the dances, were they the kind where you did them with a lot of other girls, and they told you exactly how to
yeah,
do them?
yeah, and the best thing that they planned for them was like there was kind of a runway V. And so they let like every single girl get to go on the runway V and do a pose, and they called you by their state. And also in every dance, everybody got to get a chance in the front. So I really liked that because it was just fair.
Well, that sounds really fun, and it
Yeah.
sounds like you had fun. It wasn't like hard because you learned it as you were going, and you got to. Now, did you get to do anything like sightseeing or anything? Because you're in California.
We got to go to Disneyland. We got a
tour.
Yeah, tour. That's what I was looking
Yeah?
for.
You mean like
Hollywood tour.
Oh, really?
Like we
we
got to
got
go
to
to Rodeo Drive. We got to see the Hollywood sign.
And we even got to go to the beach.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah,
Is
and
it
see-
cold though? Because it was November.
No.
Was that cold?
No.
Not
It
cold
was
like here
actually-
then.
It was not cold.
Okay, very
And
nice.
but on the tour, we also got to see the stars and the hand and footprints. So
Oh, yeah.
it
Did
was
you go
really
by any
cool,
star
yeah.
houses, like when they take you in a bus and they say that's where somebody lives or
Oh,
anything like that?
no.
Oh, I suppose that's probably more like what paparazzi do. And you
And
probably,
in the tour bus,
Yeah.
me and my mom were driving. Well, we were in the bus, and all of a sudden we saw this like awesome car, and we were like right in that like section, and like where like the stars like shop, and
yeah.
and we saw this like really like rare car, and it was a Bugatti.
A
we were
Bugatti? We got to
Yeah.
tell people because now the boys will really like watching this show if you're talking about Bugattis. So we got crowns for the girls, Bugattis for the boys.
and it was like yellow and black. It was amazing.
Oh my gosh, so you were right down with all the stars in Hollywood. What a great experience. And it sounds like you had a lot of fun. And obviously by the spangles you're wearing and everything, you had a lot of success.
Yes.
Can you tell me like what your titles are? And they're very long, so you're going to have to.
Yeah.
Can you tell me yours to start with? What's your title?
Mine is National Ambassador, and I am also Miss Illinois Princess.
Very nice. And so we'll come back and find out what you get to do for Ambassador too. Now you got to,
right.
I'm trying to read it all, but you can see if you can say it, okay?
National American Miss Junior Preteen and of Illinois. But because I moved from Illinois to Hollywood, of course, but I won the pageant.
So that's why you get the national
Yeah.
sash, which is just about as tall as you, especially when your heels aren't on. So let me clarify. So you are the national queen,
Queen for
like
my
in
age
your
division.
age division.
Yes.
Pretty spectacular. And this is a pretty big.
Very.
And
Pretty big
nationals, it's well, in state you just compete for like your state, but like in nationals, it's not
compete for
like
national.
Miss America, but it's like kind of
different
like
Sounds like it's a lot like Miss
It's a Miss America, just it's a different system. It's
Yeah.
National American Miss, not the Miss America system, but it's still
Yeah.
Miss America to this system.
Well, and I understand too, you explained this to me before. You explained to me it's not, even though Toddlers and Tiaras is fun to watch and sometimes they have great talent, you guys have the talent, but you don't have that attitude, right? That's not right.
no.
Okay, would you
None of
agree
the
with that,
girls do.
Mom? It's not like that.
I would agree, absolutely. I think all of the girls that were out there were high caliber. Every one of them was beautiful. Every one of them was talented. Every one of them could speak well. It was pretty amazing to watch.
And it sounds like they were also, to make so many friends, I know you guys are very kind girls, so they must have been just pretty nice kids you were hanging around with for a while.
Yeah,
so.
very.
And
Yeah.
you got to meet a lot of new friends, and I made like a bunch of new friends, and one of them is Miss Missouri, and she got first runner-up. I was so excited.
Oh, so isn't it nice when you can be excited for your friends
Yeah,
like that?
and then
Good friends.
I met with Miss Colorado. She's really nice, and she's just like caring for me. She's like.
That's what I
She's
like
like-
to hear. I
yeah,
like to hear
she's
that you
like
guys are
a
caring
really
for
good
each other
friend.
because, sometimes I get worried. And you guys obviously you had a great time. You loved
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you'd kind of like to do it
Very.
again. Mom, and do you think this is a good experience? Tell us a little bit from a mom's perspective how the kids grow.
Well, my husband signed her up for this. I wasn't actually the one who signed her up for this pageant. And I was a little leery at first, too. I thought, this is a Toddlers and Tiaras. I'm way out of my league getting into that. But they really stress poise and self-confidence, public speaking, interview skills. And those are skills that these girls can take with them the rest of their lives. They can use them in every situation that they encounter. And community service was a big part of nationals as well. They had to turn in
450.
they had to do a certain number of hours, and they had to have proof that they had done those hours of community
So
service.
this sounds like a wonderful pageant system.
think
So I'm sure
so.
there's different
Yes.
kinds, so a mom would have to be careful and check things out.
Right.
But this sounds like a good one. What kind of
And
service did
you-
you guys do? What kind of community service?
Well, I just went to places that I've done with before. Like, I've been with them before. They've donated to me, so they donated, they helped me. And it's just a great experience to know that you're helping out the kids that are less fortunate, or just anyone out there that needs that help.
Now, did somebody do Bookworm Angels? Was that you? That's a
yeah.
great organization because it gives those books to, especially if you don't need your books anymore, if you've grown out of
Yeah.
them, give them to somebody else.
And a bunch of my friends that I have here, they're all donating now too. Like, it's not only the businesses around there, and all like the kids at my classroom, they're starting to donate too, and I just really like that feeling.
That is a good feeling. And it's good when other people, you can teach other people how to help.
Yeah.
Did you
And-
do some stuff too?
Yes, I donate to I donate a lot of stuffed animals to kids in the hospital
that's a good
that
one.
need some. Like one time I was in the hospital, and because I was throwing up all night, and so. And it was in California for nationals.
Oh, no.
Well, it wasn't this year. It was like 2
different
years
time,
ago.
yeah.
And I had to go to the hospital in the morning. And so they this doctor was like being like really funny. He was like, "I see you,"
And I bet you
and he
thought,
kept
what if I had a stuffed animal? I'd feel
yeah.
better yet.
And then finally, the last time he came in and he brought me a stuffed animal.
Oh, so that's a great idea. So then
Yeah.
from that, you've been helping other
It was,
kids all this time.
it was probably from National American Myth.
Well, so I guess maybe it was a little good that you had to go to the hospital because it gave you a great idea. And
Yeah.
you've been helping other kids since.
Yeah, and I was like, and when I got home from the hospital, I was like, Mom, I want to do this organization, and I think it helps a lot of kids, and it made me feel good.
Yeah, that's the thing about helping. Sometimes I think we feel better than anybody. So
Yeah.
I think you're setting a really, really good example.
Yeah, it's
so
not only them who feels good, but you too.
Yeah, so I'm really proud and honored to get to meet you and find out how everything went, and say hi to your friend Cassidy when we see her. We know she's really busy right now too. I'm really
Yeah.
proud of you. And I know also. We'll probably talk to you again sometime, but you guys are going to be busy now for a while because I think you've got some
Yes.
jobs you have to do for this, right? So
Yeah.
besides all your community service and just being nice and good citizens. So anybody got a job you can tell me what's going to happen?
I have
me know.
only 3 things that I know I'm going to do. We haven't got the whole gist of everything yet, but in January, I actually get to go to Las Vegas to watch the Miss America pageant live.
Wow.
How cool.
Yeah, we'll watch for you in the audience. We'll watch it. It'll be good.
And then in Houston, there's a photo shoot, and then I'm going to all the girls' state pageants for my age division, because those are the queens that are going to compete at my national pageant next
Okay,
year.
so you're like the reigning queen for that
Yes.
area, so then you'll be there. So it sounds like Mom's got a lot of traveling she's going to do.
Does sound like that, doesn't it?
Aren't you glad? It's going to be great. We'll get you a crown for next time because she's a super mom too to do all this. We should get your mom one too because the moms have to do a lot for this, don't they? So,
Yeah.
well, it sounds like you're going to have some fun times coming up, and it sounds like it was a great experience. You guys really did a nice commercial too to understand to look for a good pageant if you want to get involved. Look for what kind of things they stand for, and it can be a great experience.
And there was like a lot of things. There was like a T-shirt competition and a scrapbook competition. And my mom is a scrapbooker. She
Yeah.
cannot stop scrapbooking. So we did the scrapbook competition, and I actually won.
You did?
Because of my mom.
Because
yeah.
you and your mom, what a good teamwork thing.
Yeah.
So, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to both of you. Thank you for coming
you.
back to visit us. It's wonderful that you had such a good time. And we'll be looking forward because I think there's going to be a lot of fun stuff and useful and helpful stuff you're going to be doing in the years to come. I think we're going to be hearing more about all of your stuffed animals to hospitals and bookworm angels. I think you're going to make that a huge success. So we'll try to help you do that too. So
right.
thank you very much. Thank you, Mom. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
taking the time for coming. And Congratulations.
Thank you.
We are here at Hawthorne Elementary North, one of the many Hawthorne schools who are very lucky to receive dictionaries for every third grader today. So the day we're taping this is Rotary Dictionary Day at Hawthorne. We're here with a couple of the volunteers from the Mundelein Vernon Hills Rotary Club. We're with Charlie Price and Mike Flynn, and they are busy today. They are handing out books, and boy, the kids are happy to get them today.
Yeah, we find that they're very excited when we give every kid in the third grade a dictionary.
Well, and for Hawthorne, that's like over 400 dictionaries, but you're going to some other schools. I heard you say you're still traveling around tomorrow. You got some other schools to visit?
I'm going to Diamond Lake, and we go to Fremont and a couple of the parochial schools, so it'll be 1,100 to 1,200 dictionaries in total.
And you guys have been doing this for years. We were trying to figure out how long. You said maybe 6, 7?
I think 7 years. You counted up when your son first got a dictionary.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really thousands of dictionaries every year that the children get to keep for themselves, and these are great dictionaries, and I think you'll see them on kids' desks. So that's part of your literacy effort. So let's talk about Rotary. Let's back up. We know we're handing out dictionaries today, but let's back up. Rotary does a lot of special service things, and I think you have a very unique motto, service above self. That's your whole thing.
Yes, service above self is the Rotary motto, and that service focuses on international service and community service locally. This is one of our local projects.
And when we talk about local, we talk literacy and some other things. I heard you telling the kids, when it comes to international, you're doing some wonderful things around the world, and you've been firsthand in that. You've been going to Guatemala for quite a while and doing some work. Can you tell us just a little about that?
Well, our group of clubs in the northeastern Illinois goes to Guatemala every year. I've been lucky to go 3 years in a row, and we work at a school down there for Mayan children, and we go out to villages and deliver water filters so that they don't get waterborne diseases. It's a real killer for infants, and people just don't live well if they don't have clean water.
It's something that's hard for our kids to understand as we go into the classrooms and there's water bottles on the desk, there's bubblers in the hallway, we've got plenty of water, but you guys are doing something about that for sure. And another thing is polio.
Yeah, Rotary's primary disease prevention campaign is prevention of polio, and we're this close to a final cure. There's only, I think, 5 countries in the world that now have polio still prominent, but Rotarians like Charlie and myself, we haven't done it, but many Rotarians will go to those countries and help distribute vaccines, and there's a large fundraising drive to match a $250 million donation by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That they gave to Rotary.
So if we had a few dollars to put toward it, we could get that matching fund from Bill and Melinda.
That they've already given to Rotary.
Oh, they have, okay.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
one of their
we're trying to
things.
match $250 million.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So we'll try to help with that too. One final thing, I heard somebody talk about shelter boxes, which have come in very handy during some of these disasters. Can somebody speak to the shelter box and what's in there?
Sure. Shelterbox is a Rotary-supported nonprofit, but Shelterbox is its own nonprofit group, and they provide a tent and a lot of living supplies like stove and other utensils to tide people over after a major disaster. Okay. So they've been given to Haiti, Australia, around the world, wherever there's a natural disaster.
And unfortunately, I'm sure that program has been well used over the last few years. So this is Rotary International. You're an international group. There's information online about you guys. And if somebody, and there's Rotary clubs all around our area, because actually Rotary has a very local roots, because you started in Chicago, I believe.
That's right. About 105 years ago, started in downtown Chicago. Headquarters are still in Evanston, so we're called the Home District, our group of clubs. But there are clubs all over the world. I've been lucky in travels to visit clubs in Argentina and Greece, and it's a great thrill to connect with people in other countries.
Well, you guys, the Rotarians that we talked to are very passionate, very, very excited about what they do. You're a very obviously a service-oriented group, and I know you guys meet on Mondays at Dover Straits, but there's information, so if anybody wanted to get involved with you guys, you're welcome new members all the time.
We welcome new members. It's at noon on Mondays, every Monday at Dover Straits, and we invite anyone to come and join us.
Find out more. You can go online to find out more. You see these guys around, ask them a question. As we said, there's Rotary clubs all over, all doing good work. And thank you from the students here around Hawthorne and Mundelein and Vernon Hills. Thank you for all those dictionaries over all these years. Thanks for taking the time.
You're welcome.
Well, one of our community special events is the Vernon Hills pageant, which happens every June. And we are pleased to be with some more queens here today. We're with the Vernon Hills royalty, and we're going to find out what they've been up to and give you a little preview so you can get ready for the pageant coming up and make your plans so you can get involved too. We're going to have the girls introduce themselves. We got 3 queens here in town. We've got Cammie Christopoulos, we've got Grace Christensen, and Madison Chirella. Thanks for being with us, girls, because I know you had to rush around to get home from school. So Cammie, let's start with you. Just where do you go to school? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a senior this year at Stevenson High School, and I am involved in the Freshman Mentor Program, which helps freshmen transition into Stevenson, and I am a director of special events for that. And I am also in the National Honor Society.
Well, that's huge because I know Stevenson is a huge school, and I know that freshman mentor program is really important. So, congratulations on that. And you're our Miss Vernon. You're our Miss Vernon Hills.
Miss
That's your
Vernon Hills,
title?
yes.
Excellent. So, thank you. Grace, tell me what's your title?
I'm Junior Miss Vernon Hills 2011, and I'm in 7th grade at Hawthorne Middle South, and I do dance, and over the summer I did cheerleading.
Yeah. And you guys are busy in everything over there at Middle South. Now, Madison, what grade are you in?
I am in 3rd grade at Aspen Elementary. My teacher is Miss Earhart.
Miss Earhart, she's a good one. Now, tell me, what's your title right now? You've got 2 titles. I
My
understand.
title, well, my whole title is Little Miss Vernon Hills of Lake County 2012.
That's a huge title. You're not that tall. You've got to have a very long sash to say all that. So let me point out, she's not only, Madison is not only our Vernon Hills queen, she's our Lake County queen. That just happened not that long ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys all got to be in the pageant too. So that was one of the fun things you got to do. And we saw your picture in the paper. It looked like you were really excited. So, and that pageant now, can somebody tell me, that wasn't just, it was like 10, 15, 20 other communities. They all sent their queens up there, so this was a big deal.
There's 13 counties in total that competed, and Grace and I are very happy that Madison
Well, you
is
guys
our
all did
oldest.
well, too, I have to say. You guys all did great. Vernon Hills is always very, very well represented. And now, can somebody tell me a little bit about what that pageant is like? Because, I mean, we like to remind people, is there, what kind of things did you do? I understand there was a lot of public speaking or interviewing and things like that.
Yeah, we started off with an interview, just one-on-one with the judges, and then during the pageant we had to say a speech and answer a pop question wearing our formal dress.
So the speech, you had something you had to write up ahead
Yeah.
and then present it then. And then what's a pop question?
A pop question is kind of like what we're doing now, is just an interview with the judges, and the question is sealed in an envelope so no one knows what it is, and it's revealed to the audience and the contestants on stage.
So you have to think quick. Did you have to do that too?
Yes, everybody had to do it.
Everybody, even
Yeah.
when you're young like you are?
Yes.
Wow. So was that fun, or was that like the most nervous part? What do you think?
It was both. It was really exciting to know what the question was, but then it was hard to answer and do it good.
Well, you guys are so well spoken. I think some of that has to have come from this pageant training because you're so used to doing things. Let's talk about all the things you're used to doing, because right away after you got your Vernon Hills crown, you had to get right away into the back of the cars and start doing the 4th of July wave, right? I saw you. Yeah, was that fun? So
It was very fun, and I know that it's a really good memory that we will have forever.
well, yeah, because that was a cool memory.
Because it was our first event, and it was very exciting to know that and it lasted a very long time. That is very good. So we have time to spend time with
Yeah,
it.
you got to
It's
spend time together too, because you were on the back of the car
Yeah.
waving for a long.
Yeah,
well,
I
they're
think we
pretty
started
long.
at 8 in the morning, and then our last event ended at like 10 at night.
Oh, that's right, because you had to go to the fireworks show and all
Yeah.
that other stuff. Now let's talk, because you're in demand to go to special events and things. I think you did
Yes.
like the tree lighting, the opening of the light show. Can you name some other stuff you've been doing?
Well, so far we compiled a list not too long ago, and we have gone to about 60 events so far in the last 5 months or so. So we go to events throughout Vernon Hills. We went to the tree lighting. We went to the opening of Century Park North, which was a lot of fun. But then we also do events with the other counties. For example, we went to Racine, Wisconsin, where we got to work with special needs people, and also seniors, where we got to play games with them. So that was a really rewarding experience because we had a lot of fun and they did as well.
Yeah, so you're doing not only just, kind of glamorous, hello, here we are as queens, but you're doing some community service then throughout
Yes.
this. Now, I understand coming up, although this is airing in January, so it's going to be after it's done, but I heard one of your things coming up is you're going to make blankets or do something with blankets?
Yeah, the blanket event.
Yeah, what is that about?
Well, what we do is we make blankets and we send them to a hospital for the kids that need
Oh,
them.
that's really nice.
This year we're actually sending it to the PADS organization,
Okay.
which provides shelter and services to homeless people throughout Lake County.
And when you say make blankets, are you like knitting them? or
No,
what
we're
do you
like the fleece blankets that you have to like tie around
Okay,
the edges.
okay.
Yeah, it's
So now,
pretty
and
easy.
so you've got a lot of different things going like that. You've got your service, and I think one time I saw you were collecting food and getting it to the food pantries. You guys do a lot of stuff
Yeah.
all the time. So I have a question for you about your role as queen. So it's not just all glamour and beauty, although you're very beautiful and very poised. You had to think on your feet, I'm hearing, so that was good. And you're doing all this public service for the community. So you guys have been wonderful ambassadors for us. Now, can somebody tell me, I know the year's only half over, but we're getting ready. Sometime somebody's going to be sitting home thinking, maybe I should try for the Vernon Hills Queen. Can somebody tell me why that would be good?
I think it's a good because you get to do a lot of community service, and then you get to make 2 new good friends that you get to see a lot during the year. And I hope we're friends like forever because that'd be fun.
Well, it seems like you guys are more like sisters, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's like you're 3 sisters.
We're together a lot.
Yeah, you are together a lot. And plus, I think you meet a lot of people from other organizations and other queens and things like that.
Not only is it rewarding to get to know, I'm an only child, so I am so happy to have 2 little sisters, but it's also rewarding because we get to make friends with the other Lake County queens, and we really get to know them, and it's a lot of fun through that as well.
It sounds like it's been fun. I mean, it sounds like there's things you have to prepare for. Now, how did you know even how to do this to start with? Did they kind of show you how to do the pageant to start with?
Yeah.
We had 2 practice rehearsals.
Okay, so you kind of, it's not like people go into this knowing the whole thing. You can go in, so somebody, if it's their first pageant, the Vernon Hills pageant's probably a good place to start.
Yeah. Since the Vernon Hills pageant is, it's like a starting child. I didn't even think that I would be coming home with the crown that day, but then I was really excited that I did.
And it was so you'll be in the pageant with all those girls you know from because they're from Vernon Hills,
Yes.
so that's nice. And then I believe that the ladies that do that, they're so good at teaching you how to do it, so you don't have to come in. They want you to know how to do it, and they want you all to succeed. So it's a great thing, don't you think? So you weren't even nervous the first time; you were just doing it.
Well, I was excited and nervous. It was
One of those things,
Yeah.
probably, yeah. Well, it's really, we're really proud of you guys and how you've represented Vernon Hills, because I know you guys have been super busy. I mean, because you're going to school and trying to do all these other things. But you guys have done a wonderful job for us. We know there's still a lot of time yet on your reign. But it sounds to me like if you'd like to see some other girls come out when it gets to be June rolling around, we should have some more girls try out for this.
Yes.
Definitely.
It was actually all 3 of us. This is our first year doing it, and
Yeah.
I think it's
It's our
really
first.
great to be able to just come here. It's not about winning, it's about making friends, and I know that we're still friends with girls who are runners-up and who were just in the pageant. So it's a lot of fun, and I really recommend, even if you don't think about ever doing a pageant, it's not all glamour and glitz. It's really community service. So.
Yeah, I'm really proud to know you guys. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Thank you for representing Vernon Hills and Lake County so well, and thanks for taking the time to come talk with us. Everybody, if you'd like to take time to find out about the Vernon Hills pageant, remember in about April, that's the time to sign up for it. So Thanks, girls, and good luck for the rest of your reign.
Thank you.
Well, here in Vernon Hills, we are very fortunate that we have a facility called the Lake County Family YMCA, right here in Vernon Hills on Lakeview Parkway. It's really a gem. The facility is a gem, but the fact of what YMCA stands for and what they do for the community, it's a real plus. And that's why we've come over to the YMCA to talk to some folks, so you can understand that philosophy and the programs and services they offer here. Now, somebody who's really good at talking about this is one of our own Vernon Hills residents, Ann Veit. And Ann, you've been involved with the Y for a long time, and this is like kind of close to your heart.
That's right. I've been involved for many years. My whole family joined years ago. We've gone to the annual fundraisers, and now I'm a board member.
Excellent. So you're a perfect one to talk about the Big Three philosophy. I know on your website, which I might add is redesigned, it's a beautiful website. You really should check it out. You've got 3 big philosophies of what this facility really stands for. And make sure I'm getting them right. Social responsibility, youth
Correct.
development, and healthy living. So let's talk about that big picture social responsibility, because that really does set you apart from, any run-of-the-mill health club, et cetera. Social responsibility is part of your philosophy.
That's right. Actually, a lot of people think the Y is a swim and gym, but we are way more than a swim and gym. We help the community, and if you can't afford the membership, we offer scholarships. We do community services, and it's way more than swim and gym. We have a higher goal.
You have a higher calling, and like you said, that idea of what you're doing and what you're trying to do for the community. First of all, you're a nonprofit too.
That's right.
So
That's right. I forgot to mention that. We're a nonprofit. We don't make any money. We always reinvest into the community.
And you do reinvest in a lot of ways, like you said, scholarship. I understand everybody around here is involved in some sort of social awareness, social responsibility, giving back to the community. And I know you're always reaching out and looking to help others. So it's really a different mindset.
It is a different mindset. And actually, we even partner with others in the community. So I don't know if people have heard of Rosalind Franklin University. It used to be Chicago Medical, but we're partnering with them right now and offering free health screenings for people, which is great because you can find the key indicators of your health, what your blood pressure is, what your cholesterol is, and we all need to know those things.
So if somebody wants to find out more about how they can do that, can they just call over here and get the info?
Yes, just call us.
Well, and let's point out too, while we are here in Vernon Hills, we have this facility. You're part of of course, a bigger nationwide YMCA picture, but you're part of a kind of a group of different facilities here in Lake County. We're just fortunate we just have you right in the middle of us.
That's right. Really fortunate to have, for me, it's right in my backyard. I could walk here. And we also have a big facility in Waukegan, and we also offer Head Start program.
And that's that's another huge thing, because the work that Head Start does with our preschool age children, that's huge. So that's another thing that's a little bit different what you get when you support the YMCA. So now, I know that you're always looking for partners and other people, just like corporate partners. Do you need?
Yeah,
what do you need?
We need corporate partners. We'll take individuals, families, local small businesses, anyone. And a lot of people, we have an annual fundraiser, and organizations will donate a service, a free lunch or free dinner or something like that. Anything helps us, really, and it all goes back into the community.
Because as we said, nonprofit, so everything does go back to the community, goes back to our own kids. And as she pointed out, there are scholarships available, so if you think you need some help over here, you guys are here to help. So that's that social responsibility, and very interesting. There's more information on your website, too, so that's someplace people can go.
And can I offer one quote?
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of funny, but everyone's heard the Village People YMCA song?
Yes.
Well, the lyrics are true. There's a place you can go when you're short on your dough.
And that's right here.
That's right here.
And we've got one right in Vernon Hills. We should have you dance it through later. So
no.
We'll do that at the end of the show, so stay tuned. So wonderful. So this is really something people need to come and find out. It's a beautiful facility, beautiful philosophy.
That's right. Oh, and also, I'm always concerned about kids learning to swim, and as you can see behind me, there is a fantastic pool, so there's no reason not to have your child learn how to swim, or for you how to learn to swim.
It's kind of a life safety skill we need
Right.
to know.
That's right.
Exactly. And everybody over here is really good about that. So this is the place to come and to learn and to grow. And thank you for taking the time. Thank you for
sure.
being on the board and representing Vernon Hills so well. And I know that if you want more people to join you, this is something that you can give them a little hint on how they can get involved.
Oh yes, please join. Please call us, and you'll find it's a very welcoming, friendly organization, really open. And if you look around, it's like the Model United Nations. We have everybody here, just like Vernon Hills.
It is. It's wonderful. It's a real gem. So if you haven't come over to the Y, make sure you come over and learn about social responsibility. We're going to tell them about the other of the big three in a few minutes, but thanks for joining us. And we'll come back and talk to you soon about everything else.
Okay, thanks, Lynn.
The second facet we're going to talk about today for the YMCA philosophy is youth development. Now, our expert here today on youth development is Angela Tossman. She's a program coordinator here at the Y. So if you're involved in programs, you're going to get to know her very well. Angela, thanks for joining us. And when it comes to youth development, there are a lot of programs and a lot of services over here for our young people in the community.
Yes, there is. We provide services as young as children 6 weeks.
6 weeks, so you've got a place where you can bring your babies if you need to get to work or something.
We do. We have a child development center here on the premises.
And it's a beautiful center. I notice when people come in, too, it's secure.
It is. We have security is one of our top priorities with our young children, and we have children ranging in our child development center for 6 weeks through 6 years in that program.
And how many kids? It looks like quite a few families are coming in and out.
We have well over 100 children.
Wow. And you've got them in different classrooms for different ages. Is that how it works?
That's correct.
And this isn't just, stop and drop and the child, hangs around all day. You have beautiful facilities and activities and a curriculum that you're following here.
That's correct. We strive on being the child's second home. So we have a high school curriculum, and that is focused on the child's individual needs and their interests. So lesson plans are not done weeks in ahead. They're done daily for the following day to meet the needs of the child.
And how, if a parent needed help in here, to get their child in here, what kind of hours of service do you have available? Are you here for the working parent?
We are. We're here from 6:30 in the morning till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Well, so that means you've got before and after school care then too.
We do. We have our before and after school program that runs through the same times, and we focus on the same thing, having them have their second home here at the YMCA, as well as they become really involved with the community by doing service projects.
Okay, so that goes back to that social responsibility philosophy.
Absolutely.
So that carries through to the children even.
Absolutely. We do work on that as well in the child care, and we just have a really unique program that meets the needs of the kids and the community and helping them to shape into the young individuals.
And that's really something different, because that's not something you're going to find at every place. That's really a hallmark of the YMCA and the programs you offer and that philosophy that runs through everything.
That's correct.
Now, and when it comes to youth development, you've got a lot of things too. For older kids, you've got summer camps, you've got special needs things that go on. You've got a lot of things. So if you have children and you want to find out more, this is a good place to come over and see just all you have to offer.
Absolutely. And then we also have programs when parents are working out in the facility or swimming, where the children can be engaged throughout the time that they're here, so they can work on fitness activities, arts and crafts, and things of their interest.
Nice. So just if I came over to work out, you could handle everything I got going on.
Absolutely.
Nice. You're a good person to know. That's very nice. So, well, thank you for telling us more about child development. Remember, if you want to know more about this, talk to Angela, find out about all those programs they got for before, after, during school, everything's going on. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Well, the last facet of the big three is healthy living. And our expert on that here at the Y is Erin Russell. She's the membership director. She's the person that can get you involved in some fitness programs for the new year. Thanks for joining us, Erin. And now is kind of, I would think, a big time coming into January. It's pretty big for people working out.
Absolutely. It's that time of year that everyone makes their New Year's resolutions, and in that spirit, we're kind of doing some fun things at the Y. For the month of January, we'll have no joiners fees to make it even easier for people to make that commitment. And then we're starting a fun program too called Resolution Revolution, which gives people some fun rewards for meeting their own personal goals and for coming to the Y and working out.
That sounds good. So especially if you could reward me with cake or something like that. Probably not. So, and when we talk about the facilities here, you've got a lot. I mean, we've shown the pool a little bit, but there's a lot of facilities in here. If people haven't been in, they really should see it.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got, in addition to the pool, which has, lap lanes as well as a zero depth area for kids and some fun water slides, we've also got our fitness center, which has a wide variety of cardio equipment, and then as well has the machine weights and the free weights. We do offer personal training as well for those people that want to kind of kick it up a notch and get some advice. Then we've also got some great group fitness classes, including yoga, Pilates, Zumba, the step class, I could go on and on. And most of those classes are included with membership at the Y. We've got some specialty ones too, like boot camp and martial arts, and we've got them for all ages. We even have, kids fitness classes as well, so.
It's really, and it is really interesting, and it's very busy all the time here. We had talked before about how this is so much more than a health club because you do so much more, but you've got everything you'd ever want in here.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to the fitness stuff, we do a lot of family activities. We've got family fun nights that we do about every quarter or so, and we've got parents' nights out once a month, so those parents can drop off the kids and kind of get a break, which they so need. So
I like the sound of all that. So there is just so much going on here. Now, I know you have memberships, but there are things that people can come in, even as non-members, just to try things out. You had mentioned like sometimes you can come in even for an open swim.
Absolutely, yeah. We have what we call rec swim. We have it every day during the afternoons, during the week, and on weekends for a couple hours. And families or just adults can pay a small daily fee to come in and use the pool. In addition, we open up our classes to non-members as well. So if you're not sure that you'd be able to commit to a membership and come enough, you can always just take one class and just do Zumba or something of that sort.
Well, and it gives you kind of a flavor of what's going on. And who can think of something nicer than to go in that big pool area when it gets to be like the winter months and we're tired of being inside? It's a great place to bring the kids over. And like you said, you got the zero depth area?
Yeah, not only that, speaking of the cold weather, something that people really enjoy here is the adult spa area. So if you just want to go sit in the sauna, the hot tub, or the steam room, we've got that as well.
This sounds like the place to be. So if you want to find out more about membership or the personal training or everything, they can just give you a call or they can go online and find out a lot more.
Absolutely. Our website, ymcalakecounty.org, has all the information on there. You can get the current program guide with classes and all the information, or just stop in, take a tour, give us a call. We can give you everything you need.
Exactly. And to make it clear where they are, it's 700 Lakeview Parkway, which is kind of in behind Target. So sometime if you're on the way to Target or going somewhere, just stop in and see this beautiful facility. They'll make sure you give you a tour of the whole place. So thanks for taking the time. I think you're going to be really busy here in January because we're all going to get back on that exercise wheel. We're going to be good.
We hope so. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, your monthly electricity bill can certainly be an aggravation. We have a new vocabulary word when it comes to electricity, aggregation. And we're here with Village Manager Mike Allison to talk about something that the village hopes that they can work on for us to get us lower electricity bills. So thanks for joining us, Mr. Allison. And,
thank you.
And by the way, that little aggregation joke, it wasn't mine. Lynn Deanda came up with that. Electricity humor
Can we
isn't mine.
use that though in the campaign?
You can use it. I think it would
okay.
help. But we've kind of got some good news going.
Right.
It's kind of complicated,
right.
But the whole gist is to get us residents and businesses here in town to have some lower electricity
right.
through buying power.
Absolutely.
Why are we talking about it now, though? What changed?
Well, what changed in 2010, the Illinois legislature passed legislation that allowed for municipalities to bring together, aggregate, households as well as small businesses into groups where you could go out for bid, meaning the municipality, and then, you know, because of that large aggregation of people, we could get better rates.
Okay, so kind of like the buying
right.
power, more of us to get
Right,
together, and that's
exactly.
new then?
Yeah,
Okay.
right. And now I should say, and I know you're going to get to this, but just a reminder, and I'll only say it 5 or 6 times, the whole thing with a referendum. This is
Yes.
something that the voters decide on. This isn't something the village is going to unilaterally, you know, do. It's just we're enabling the process, and we'll see what people have to say on the 20th of March.
Okay,
next
sounds
year.
good. So, yeah, we will get to that. And the idea is work together, get better, go out for competitive
Right.
bid, and get us all a lower rate.
Correct.
Should we want to
Right.
take advantage of
Right.
it. But as you alluded to, before you can do that, there are some steps you have to do. And the first thing was the village board had to say, we're interested in that, so we'd
Right.
like to put a question on the referendum.
Right.
So for March 20th, we are going to see a question before the voters.
Correct. And that question, well, I'll read it. It's kind of the difficulty in wording it, but shall the Village of Vernon Hills have the authority to arrange for the supply of electricity for its residential and small commercial retail customers who have not opted out of such program? And so what that means is the opt-out provision would be if one does nothing, and we're all busy in life. If you don't do anything, this referendum passes, next spring, summer of 2012, then you'd be in this program.
And theoretically, we expect you'll see a lower rate for
Correct,
electricity. So
correct.
it's not a bad thing to be in this program.
That's what everybody is anticipating. That is really the only reason we're doing it, is to achieve lower rates. And when I say we meaning the Village of Vernon Hills, but also our neighbors to the south. And
Yeah.
Buffalo Grove, I'll give them credit where credit's due. My counterpart, Dane Bragg, pulled together, let me get them all, Long Grove, Palatine, Buffalo Grove, Lincolnshire, and us. And Wheeling.
And
I always
Arlington
forget
Heights.
Wheeling, and Arlington Heights.
Yeah, it's a nice big
Thank
group.
you. Yeah, and it's about over 250,000 households, and that's a great group. We feel that we can achieve savings by a group that size.
Because that's going to be a
in
big bid
bidding
if
it
you go
out.
out for that
Absolutely.
and say, what are you going to give it to us for?
Exactly.
That's a lot of buying power.
Now, people are probably wondering, you have at home, I'm sure you have too, received all these solicitations from whoever, Constellation Energy, Integris, I can't even think of, there's, I probably received 7 or 8 different companies on multiple times. That's an option you can do. Those savings typically have been less than what municipalities to date have achieved.
What kind of savings are
Well,
you
the
thinking?
savings I've seen, some of the highest I've seen independently, let's say on one's own, is maybe mid to high teens. Municipalities, and this is today, again, electricity to some extent is like a commodity, like gasoline. You drive
Goes
by
up
the
and
gas
down, yeah.
station, up and down, mostly up. But that has been mid-20s.
Okay.
There's been some municipalities that have achieved like mid-20s in savings.
So I would think with a group like this, we could be hopeful that we would be,
It's
be able to pull
possible.
something
It
off like
depends
that.
what the market's like.
Yeah.
I've heard these bids, and it's kind of interesting. Again, it's a commodity. Is that literally your bidder is on the phone right before the bid, making a determination what they're going to put down on a piece of paper to give you. So that's
There's
how
some wheeling
it works.
dealing
Because
going
it
on,
really
yeah.
is at the last minute. What is the market saying on whatever date this would be? Again, assuming the referendum passes.
Well, yeah, and let's talk about that process, because the village board had to say, yes, we'd like to pursue, let's put this wording on the ballot. We need people to vote on March 20th
Right.
to say yes to that question, or you can't do anything more.
Right. And again, I should say, because we're using village funds here, that is purely up to, we would urge
Oh, I'm sorry,
people
yes,
to-
I
We
can't-
would urge people to vote. Whether you vote yes or no, again, it's, it's a determination that you need to have as an individual, as a homeowner, if you're going to save money. And you can take a look at all the articles.
Right.
Cranes has had a number of articles, the Tribune, the Sun-Times, the Daily Herald about it. It's been on TV a number of times. So it's important to go out and vote and express your, opinion on it. And again, it's a function of we're trying to get lower rates by doing this grouping or aggregation.
Now, other municipalities
Correct.
have already gone out and
Right.
voted, and some local ones where I see Fox River Grove, Grays Lake, Harvard. So
Right.
we're kind of on the cutting edge, but there's been others before us that are working
Oh,
on this.
absolutely. We're not the first ones, and we wanted to wait to see, we got our group together, our group of 7 municipalities, and, obviously the timing is all geared towards an election. They happen to be in the election. I think they did the general election of 2010 in November. Some of these
In November.
municipalities.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. Well, so now we talked about hopefully the benefit, assuming the referendum would pass, the benefit would be the lower rates, but really no difference as an electricity user. On
Right,
my end, what
right.
I'm going to see, same
Right.
level of service through
right.
ComEd. ComEd is
Right.
still the service provider.
Yeah, because really ComEd now is a transmission and distribution company. They go out through and I don't understand all the details, but through the Illinois Power Authority, they purchase electricity that they supply you if you're not buying it specifically from someone else. So they're not a transmission, they divested themselves of that part of the business a number of years ago. So your bill typically is 65 to 70% of it is the supply piece of it.
Okay.
Now that's the only piece you get a discount on.
Okay.
In any of these scenarios that we've just
So it's
discussed.
the actual
just-
energy portion.
Right. So you can't, if we achieve a 25% discount or 20% or 15%, you can't take that against your, $150 summertime ComEd bill because it has taxes on it, it has a distribution component on it, and the transmission part of it, distribution and transmission piece of it. It's only the supply piece of it which is the lion's share of it, though.
Well, I was going to say, any discount anywhere, we don't sneeze at that. So,
Right.
now you had mentioned, those solicitations, and I know you've got a lot of great information on the Vernon Hills website.
Right.
A lot of details about what this is going to be, how to do it,
Right.
other things to look at. And I know two of the questions you said, if you're looking at those individual solicitations,
Right.
that you as an individual
As a
household,
homeowner, right.
yeah, those that you should watch for the length of contract and any termination fees.
Right.
Because if you do, then, if you wanted to do it for a while and then see how the village comes out, you could come in
Right.
later then too, if you had to hold the contract for a while.
And I think the one assessment a person can make, and again, we encourage people to take a look at that. I know it's interesting meeting a couple of my colleagues of these other municipalities said, well, did you take a look at it? Have you done anything about it? And none of us yet have done anything personally at our homes about it. But one thing you could look at is if you do it right today, we're speaking here in the middle, not the middle, but first part of December, if you wanted to go on, I think you can do it as quickly as maybe January, you have to kind of assess, let's assume we get these prices and things get into gear, again, if the referendum passes in May, then you have to ascertain, well, for 4 months, I'm going to save money at, it's one of those great student math problems, right? If for 4 months I save at 16%, how does that compare to saving maybe, I don't know, but maybe for 20 months at 21%.
So you got to see if it's
if
worth
you
it to
care
you.
to do that kind of math, you can figure it out. And if it's better for you, if you feel, hey, I'm going to take a chance and wait, or I'm going to, do it immediately right now because I can save it.
I can
right
see
in
it and I can
January.
save and get it done.
Exactly, and get it done. And then most likely, of the ones I've seen, I've looked at maybe 10 or 15 of them, most of them do have a buy-in for a year at least.
Okay.
So just so people are aware that you're bought in, and any referendum and aggregation that we would do would not negate those contracts.
So you'd have to keep
still
your
in
contract.
that contract for the duration of the contract.
And
Just so
look,
people know that.
that's a good point to keep in mind. And when, assuming the referendum passes and we get this going, there's like a decision point that we will have, and you'll communicate that with us more. But you can opt out, say, I'm not interested in being
Right,
part of
I
this.
like company XYZ, or I signed a contract, or I want to stay with ComEd because I'm just comfortable. I don't want to do
So
it.
I'm going to stay.
That's
You
fine.
can opt out.
You can do that.
Or you can do nothing, and then you end up with the rest of us.
You're in the
hopefully. Yeah,
aggregation
and hopefully
then,
that
right.
aggregation gives us some benefit there.
Right.
And then the third way is they talk about renewable energy or
Right.
greener energy, that you
Right.
could ask for that. And and
Right.
it says there might be you could possibly ask for that, and if you
Right.
do, it could be a higher rate.
And everything we've seen says it's a higher rate, and it's generated by typically wind farms or hydroelectric, although in our area there's not
Yeah,
too
probably
much
more
of that. So it would be mostly wind energy in this part of the country.
So
So you
it's
can opt
interesting.
that, but we're going to look at that as an option.
And we'll know more as we get through this process, and you get to
Right.
the end, there'll be more detail when it gets
Right.
to, because we still have to cross some hurdles. The first being March 20th is the
Right.
referendum
Is
day.
the date of the election.
Okay,
Correct.
and that's the day there'll be the referendum question, and it'll be on for all of these municipalities. We're all going out
Correct.
to vote on that. And
We've all passed resolutions in all 7 municipalities.
so the
now.
hope is, well, we can't tell people how to vote.
Right. But the hope is that it is approved in all those 7 municipalities, including Vernon Hills, of course, and then we have the opportunity to bid out and see what kind of discount that we
Well,
can
that'd be
get
some
from
good,
current rates.
yeah, that'd be some good buying power. So one would think there's not really much of a downside.
No, well, in the future, and again, this isn't a reason, it's the reason to be against it, but in the long term, meaning in the next several years, there is, I guess you'd describe a tipping point with ComEd, where at a certain point, if enough people are successful in this aggregation, there will be a point several years into the future where ComEd then would have a commodity rate, as I understand it, and it would be, like we talked about, similar to buying gasoline at a gas station, where it's what the market is. Today it's controlled a little bit differently, but in the future then it would be, but that's the
That's
future.
in the future.
And
For
that's
now, it
probably in
sounds
the
like a good
future, and regardless.
Well, it sounds like an interesting concept. There's a lot more information on the website, including there's a couple of great websites that you pointed out, one from
Right.
Citizens Utility Board, one from Cub Energy Saver.
Yeah, both of them are run by the Citizens Utility Board.
Oh, they are,
Yeah,
okay.
both of them. But one is a .org site, and the
Okay.
other one's a .com. The one site gives you all those companies that are licensed in Illinois to provide this. So if you want to
Okay.
check if Integris, which I happen to know is, and Veridian, and just to name a couple, they're on that list. If you just want to make sure they're licensed to be a reseller of electricity in Illinois, you can go on that one Cub site, that very long address. And then the other one is to help you save in your energy,
Okay.
to do like your own household audit.
Kind of an
They're
analysis.
both very
yeah.
helpful websites.
Yeah, well, this all sounds really interesting. I know we'll tell people more as we go forward. So right now, the goal is educate yourself, so you understand what everybody's asking you to do, and then we just have to make sure people come out and vote on the 20th
Right,
of March,
right.
because I know sometimes that's a little low.
Right,
So.
it's a primary, and
And people should watch, by the way, on that one, the county did send out new voter registration cards. Your polling place may have changed a little. Look that up. You can go online and find that stuff out too. You can check that, from your home computer. But the most important thing is get out and vote so we can speak about what we want to have happen and then move forward on
Right,
this. So,
right.
so if people want more information, go online, and I know you guys are available to answer
right, and
questions
they
too.
can contact me, and I can speak some more. And I'm sure there's a lot of questions we don't have answers to. and we can, and those are great questions to get to receive. Then we can look them up and disseminate that information for everybody.
Good. Sounds good. So we're talking energy aggregation. We'll talk
Right.
about it again with you
Yep.
as we get closer and closer into the referendum time and on
Right.
into summer when we hopefully can be saving some energy
Right.
costs. So thanks for joining us, and
Thank
everybody
you.
go online and make sure you're ready for the vote. Thanks.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. Remember, if you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Stordo at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at vhills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.